Hey, what's going on, man? This Big Unk back at you again. Hey, I'm not gonna be before you long today, but I want to stop in and tell you guys, hey, I love you. Stay prayed up out here. Stay prayed up on the job, off the job, at home, your surroundings. Just always stay prayed up. Because the power of the enemy, I tell you, is at large. Oh, yeah. The power of the enemy is at large. So, listen, stay prayed up, okay? Really and truly stay prayed up. But first and foremost, I want to give an honor to God for allowing me to be here today, to see another day, to smell another day, to hear another day, to be around for another day, to basically be living another day. I want to thank God for no lameness, no blindness, no crippleness, no numbness, no jail, no incarceration. I just want to thank God for me just living and being healthy and my children being healthy. So, hey, look, this Big Unk, man, XXX, just hollering at you, man. Letting you know what's going on around these camps. Letting you know what's going on out here, man. It's a cold, cruel world out here. So, you have to be mindful what you say, who you say it to, what you're talking about. Sometimes it ain't even good to let people hear your conversation no more because they take it for what they want to believe in and they ride with it. People stop speaking to you for the pettiest things. People stop dealing with you for little things, family and all, co-workers and all. So you just have to be careful, man, and trust people as far as you can see them. Even in the house, you have to kind of have a little privacy now. I mean, you just don't know these days. Not that you have anything against anyone. You just don't know these days. So you want to be protective of yourself more than anything so you can live to tell the story. If not, you better hope someone can tell the story better than you. But look, hey, it's out there, man. It is out there. When I tell you it is out there. So I'm going to just touch on something right quick. And I'm not going to be before you long because I haven't been reading out the book. I've just been giving y'all a lot of freestyle here lately. So what I'm going to do, I left off in the book of Genesis because I marked where I left off at. Chapter 18, I left out on verse 22. So I'm going to start on verse 23 and just read a few verses for you. Actually, I'm going to start on verse 22 and read a few verses for you. And it says that, and the men turned their faces from thence and went toward Sodom, but Abram stood yet before the Lord. And Abram drew near and said, wilt thou also destroy the righteous with the wicked? So Abraham is asking God right now, before the destruction began, will thou destroy the righteous with the wicked? Watch what God says. God says pre-adventure. All right? No, Abraham say pre-adventure. There be 50 righteous within the city. Wilt thou also destroy and not spare the place for the 50 righteous that are in? That be far from to do after this manner, to slay the righteous with the wicked, and that the righteous should be as the wicked, that be far from thee shall not the judge of all the earth do right. This is Abraham questioning God. That's why God considered Abraham a friend, because Abraham was just that bold to trust God. Abraham said, should not the judge of all the earth do right? And this is God reply. This is the Lord reply. And the Lord said, if I find Sodom 50 righteous within the city, then I will spare all the place for their sakes. Wow. Ain't that something? Abraham asked him about the 50. And the creator, the judge of all the earth, said, if I find 50 righteous among the city, within the city, I will spare all the place for their sakes. That's powerful. Abraham is bold. You hear me? And Abraham answered and said, Behold now, I have taken upon me to speak unto the Lord, which am but dust and ashes. So he recognized, hey, look, you created me. I'm nothing but dust and ashes. So behold, I've taken upon myself to speak before the Lord. And Abraham said, Peradventure, there shall lack 5 of the 50 righteous, wilt thou destroy all the city for the lack of 5? So Abraham narrowed it down. And he said, if I find there 45, I will not destroy it. Abraham is a powerful man, you hear me? And he spoke unto him yet again and said, Peradventure, there shall be 40 found there. And I will not do. And he said, I will not do it for 40's sake. And he said unto him, Oh, let not the Lord be angry, and I will speak. Peradventure, there shall 30 be found there. And he said, I will not do it if I find 30. So Abraham testing his water. So he's basically telling God right now, don't be angry, but I shall speak. Abraham getting this thing down to 30 individuals now. And he said, Behold now, I have taken upon me to speak unto the Lord. Peradventure, there shall be 20 found there. And he said, I will not destroy it for 20's sake. And he said, Oh, let not the Lord be angry. I will speak yet, but this once. Peradventure 10 shall be found there. And he said, I will not destroy it for 10's sake. And the Lord went this way as soon as he left communing with Abraham. And Abraham returned unto this place. So Abraham even trying to say the place all the way down to 10 people. Ain't that so? He trying to say the place all the way down to 10 people. And the Lord said he would not destroy it even if he found 10. And they parted ways after that. Just reading a little on, going to verse 19, because I want to kind of finish this. And it says, And then came 2 angels to Sodom at even, and Lot sat in the gate of Sodom, and Lot, seeing them, rose up to meet them. And he bowed himself with his face toward the ground. And he said, Behold, now my lords, turn in, I pray you, into your servant's house, and tarry all night, and wash your feet. And ye shall rise up early and go unto your ways. And they said, Nay, but we will abide in the street all night. And he pressed upon them greatly. And they turned unto him. And he entered into the house, and he made them a feast, and did bake unleavened bread, and they did eat. But before they lay down, the men of the city, even the men of Sodom, compassed the house around, both old and young, all the people from every quarter. And they called out unto Lot, and said unto him, Where are the men which came into thee this night? Bring them out unto us, that we may know them. They want to rape them, man. Ain't that something? And not even realizing that they're angels. And Lot went out at the door unto them, and shut the door after him, and said, I pray you, brother, do not so wickedly. Better pay attention. They want to rape them men that Lot had, not knowing that they're angels of God. And Lot trying to warn them and say, I pray to you, brother, do not so wickedly. Behold, now I have 2 daughters which have not known man. Let me, I pray you, bring them out unto you, and do ye to them as in good in your eyes. Only unto these men do nothing. For therefore came they unto the shadow of my roof. So Lot trying to tell him, I got 2 daughters that haven't known man. You can have them, but not these men. And they said, stand back. And they said again, this one fellow came into the sojourn, and he will needs be a judge. Now will we deal worse with thee than with them. And they pressured sore They pressed so upon man, and even Lot came near to break the door. They trying to get in. But the men put forth their hand and pulled Lot into the house to them and shut the door. And they said, and they smote the men that were at the door of the house with blindness, both small and great, so that they wearied themselves to find the door. And the man said unto Lot, Hast thou here any besides son-in-law, and thy sons and thy daughters, and whosoever thou hast in the city, bring them out of this place. For we will destroy this place, because the cry of them is waxing great before the face of the Lord, and the Lord had sent us to destroy it. So right there, God is sending them to destroy this city. And that's chapter 19, verse 13. And Lot went out and spoke unto his sons-in-law, which married his daughters, and said, Up, get you out of this place, for the Lord will destroy this city. But he seemed as one that mocked unto his sons-in-laws. And when the morning arose, then the angels hastened Lot, saying, Arise, take thy wife and thy 2 daughters which are here, lest thou be consumed in the iniquity of the city. And while he lingered, the men laid hold upon his hand, and upon the hand of his wife, and upon the hand of his 2 daughters, the Lord being merciful unto him. And they brought him forth and set him without the city. And it came to pass, when they had brought forth abroad, that he said, Escape for thy life, look not behind thee, neither stay thou in all the plain, escape to the mountains, lest thou be consumed. And Lot said unto them, Oh, not so, my Lord. Behold, now thy servant hath found grace in thy sight, and thou hast magnified thy mercy. Because he found grace with the Lord because of Abraham. So God is still keeping his promise to Abraham. He's still keeping his promise to Abraham. And thou hast magnified thy mercy, which thou hast showed unto me in saving my life, and I cannot escape to the mountain, lest some evil take me and I die. Behold, now this city is near to flee unto it is a little one. Oh, let me escape thither. Is it not a little one? And my soul shall live. And he said unto him, See, I have accepted thee concerning this thing, also that I will not overthrow this city for which thou hast spoken. So the Lord telling him right there, he's not going to overthrow the city for which thou hast spoken. So I'm going to end it right there, because even sometimes I get a little complacent after reading for so long. So I'm stopped on verse 22 and chapter 19 still. So, you know, basically, you can't do wrong and expect for something to be right. Abraham had so much wisdom and boldness with God that's why God considered him a friend. And that's why the cities are saved today, because of what Abraham spoke to God in the days of age, in the days of old. So God spared us because of Abraham. That's my word for you today. That's my message for you today. God spared us because of Abraham. Hey, this Big Unk, man, I'm out. One love till the next time. But remember that God spared us because of Abraham. Thank you, Father, for this word and the hearers and doers and listeners of this word. Amen.